Thank you for tuning in to Thursday's edition of Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's get started with the top stories that we're tracking this Thursday morning. Prime Minister Modi launched a scathing attack at Jharkhand Mukti Morcha-led INDI government and warned that the population of Hindus and adivasis is declining, sharpening his attack. The Prime Minister accused the JMM-led coalition government of engaging in vote bank politics that supports bangladeshi infiltrators at the expense of state's cultural integrity. In fact, during the BJP's Parivartan Yatra, the Prime Minister even called for a change to protect the land, daughter and bread. Prime Minister Modi also claimed that the JMM government in the state is undermining the state's identity and traditions while prioritizing power over rights of tribal communities. BJP's Parivartan Yatra has covered approximately 5,400 kilometers across all 81 assembly segments of Jharkhand, where the assembly elections are due later this year. In fact, the Parivartan Yatra was flagged off by Union Home Minister Amit Shah on 20th of September this year.
आज जेएमएम सरकार झारखंड के विकास में बड़ी बाधा बन गई है। कोई कल्पना कर सकता है जल, जंगल, जमीन के नाम पर आदिवासियों से वोट लेने वाले लोग ऐसी खुली लूट करेंगे। आज प्रदेश सरकार में जमीन के दलालों की तूती बोल रही है। आप इनकी हिम्मत देखिए, इन्होंने गरीब आदिवासियों की जमीनों को लूटा।
News from the national capital. The Delhi police seized more than 560 kgs of cocaine worth nearly 2,000 crore rupees, which is said to be one of the biggest drug busts in the national capital. The drugs were found in South Delhi's Mehrauli, and 4 people have also been arrested in this case. Police officials suspect that an international drug syndicate was being run by Afghan nationals in the national capital. 4 individuals have been arrested in connection with the international drug syndicate believed to be supplying narcotics for high-profile parties. The kingpin is reportedly the son of a prominent Delhi publishing company owner, raising concerns about the involvement of influential figures in the drug trade. The police is now intensifying their investigation to uncover the full extent of the syndicate's operations. Officials have stated that the bust not only disrupts the local drug supply but also highlights ongoing efforts to combat drug trafficking in the national capital. The BJP has accused the Trinamool Congress leader of Anarul Haq of assaulting a woman with a bamboo stick in a shocking incident that has surfaced from Malda district. The footage reportedly filmed in Sambalpur Gram Panchayat shows the woman with her hands tied enduring the attack while someone nearby instructs the TMC leader not to hit her in the stomach. The West Bengal leader of opposition Shoendu Adhikari shared the video on social media platform expressing outrage, claiming that this incident reflects the troubling trend of violence against women under TMC's rule in the state. The BJP even questioned the state of women's rights and safety in West Bengal. The BJP has called for accountability, urging immediate action to address such issues. Climate activist Sonam Wangchuk and several others from Ladakh paid tributes to Mahatma Gandhi at his memorial Rajghat on Wednesday evening, and after they were released from police detention and ended their fast, Wangchuk along with around 120 others from Ladakh were detained on Monday night, September 30th. At the Delhi-Haryana border, Sonam Wangchuk and his supporters were detained while marching from Leh to the national capital to demand constitutional safeguards for Ladakh and statehood for the same. The march, which began on 1st of September, was set to culminate at Rajghat on 2nd of October. This march was organized by the Leh Apex body, the LAB, which along with the Kargil Democratic Alliance has been spearheading an agitation for past 4 years to demand statehood for Ladakh, seeking its inclusion under the 6th schedule of the Constitution, early recruitment process along with Public Service Commission for Ladakh and separate Lok Sabha seats for Leh and Kargil districts.
150 से भी अधिक पदयात्री लेह से दिल्ली तक पहुंचे, जिसमें लेह और कारगिल दोनों के बड़े बूढ़े महिलाएं बहुत से लोग थे। दिल्ली पहुंचने पर हमें थोड़ी दिक्कतें हुई क्योंकि डिटेंशन हुआ, मगर जो होता है अच्छे के लिए होता है। इससे हमारी जो संदेश है पर्यावरण के संरक्षण का वो और ज़्यादा देश भर तक फैला, इसके लिए हम बहुत खुश हैं।
The Tirumala Venkateshwara temple in Tirupati is illuminated and decked up ahead of the annual Brahmotsavam celebrations. The Tirumala Brahmotsavam is an annual celebration that is held in the holy town of Tirumala, where Lord Venkateshwara resides. This grand festival marks the celestial blessings that Lord Venkateshwara, also known as Sivaru, bestows upon his devotees. The festival is observed with pomp and grandeur, where the deity is paraded through the streets in beautifully decorated carriers. Each of the 9 days holds special significance, with rituals performed to seek divine grace and prosperity. The Brahmotsavam begins on 4th of October, that is tomorrow, and will conclude on 12th of October. And let's now take a look at the business stories that we're tracking in Thursday's edition of Quick Morning. Consultant Colliers India has released the data that shows that the institutional investments in real estate during the month of July till September stands at $1,148.7 million as against $793.4 million in the year-ago period, with investors now looking to encash the strong demand for premium homes and offices. The residential segment, which has seen a significant surge in demand post-COVID pandemic, saw a 40% growth in investments to almost $384.8 million from $274.6 million. In fact, industrial and warehousing segments witnessed a fall of almost 72% in fund inflow to $95.2 million from $342.3 million earlier. Investment in mixed-use projects almost doubled to $52.4 million from $27.2 million. Alternate assets, which include data centers, life sciences, senior housing, holiday homes, student housing and schools, among others, did not receive any funding in September as against $72.2 million in the year-ago period. Colliers even said that the domestic investments remain robust at $0.5 billion, contributing 44% of the total inflows during the July-September quarter this year. Oil prices climbed 1% on Wednesday on worries that the escalating conflict in the Middle East region could threaten oil supplies from the world's top producing region. But a large build in U.S. crude inventories limited gains. Brent futures up 84 cents or 1.14% to $74.4 per barrel. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude rose 87 cents by 1.25%. In fact, on Wednesday, Iran said that its missile attack on Israel was over, barring further provocation, further adding that any Israeli response to its attack would be met with widespread destruction. An attack on Iran's oil infrastructure could even provoke Tehran to respond with a strike on Saudi oil facilities, similar to the one that was conducted in 2019 on the oil facilities there. United Nations Security Council scheduled a meet as well about the Middle East on the Middle East situation for Wednesday. It was held yesterday, and with this, the European Union called for immediate ceasefire. Iran's oil output rose to a 6-year high of 3.7 million barrels per day in the month of August. The government is now discussing a proposal to formulate a scheme for the Made in India label with a view to promote brand India in the global markets. The official said that a high-level committee is examining the details of the scheme. The objective is to create a strong brand identity for India, similar to how Made in Japan or Made in Switzerland evokes about specific images and qualities. According to experts, quality consciousness is key to promote brand India. The government at present has India brand equity production to promote art and create international awareness about Made in India label in overseas markets and to facilitate dissemination of knowledge of Indian products and services. Think tank Global Tank Research Initiative suggested that India's branding strategy should focus on 3 pillars: brand high quality products, improve product quality for less than best products, do not focus on branding and actions to improve product quality for the same. Investor wealth surged by a whopping 110.57 lakh crore rupees so far this year, driven by a remarkable rally in the stock market, where the benchmark indices shattered many records. In fact, the market capitalization of BSE listed firms soared to as much 110.5 110.57 lakh crore rupees to almost 470 lakh crore rupees so far this year. The market valuation of all listed firms at the BSE hit an all-time high of 477.93 lakh crore rupees. On 27th of September, the BSE Sensex also jumped by over 12,000 points or 16% so far this year, giving handsome returns to investors. The benchmark scaled its all-time peak of 87,978 on September 27 this year, breaching many milestones. EV maker giant Tesla missed expectations for third quarter deliveries on Wednesday, hurt by stiff competition from rivals in China and Europe, sending shares of the world's most valuable automaker down to 3.5% in pre-market trading. The EV maker handed over 4,62,890 vehicles in 3 months to 30th of September, up 6.4% from the preceding quarter. The company has to deliver a record of 5,16,344 vehicles in the fourth quarter to meet last year's delivery figure of 1.81 million units. The shortfall could even result in Tesla recording its first annual drop in deliveries. Tesla is now contending with fierce competition from Chinese automakers like BYD and XPeng, which are aggressively expanding their presence in the world's largest automotive market with help from local government subsidies. The price cuts and incentives have also squeezed Tesla's profit margins. The company is now expected to unveil its robotaxi product at a closely watched event on 10th of October in Los Angeles as it attempts a shift in strategy with a focus on AI-powered autonomous technologies. Now, 8 Israeli soldiers have been killed in the ongoing ground incursion that is being carried out by the Israeli forces. Let's take a look at the global stories that we're tracking this hour. Lebanon caretaker Prime Minister has called for an immediate ceasefire in light of escalating tensions in the Middle East region. His appeal follows a ground incursion by Israel in Lebanon and missile attacks from Iran. In fact, the caretaker Prime Minister has urged the international community to take action and support a plan that's been proposed by the Lebanese government, as the ongoing conflict has resulted in as many as 1,000 deaths in less than 2 weeks in Lebanon. The US State Department has announced that about 100 American citizens and their families have left Lebanon on a flight to Istanbul. This flight is part of ongoing efforts to assist Americans seeking to leave the country amid rising tensions. Since September 28, the US Embassy has been working to arrange seats on commercial flights, and approximately 7,000 Americans have contacted the embassy for assistance.
So there are now around 7,000 people who have contacted us. Not all of those are looking for assistance to leave, but we ask people to register with us for more information, and then we provide them information. Some of those, I presume, will eventually look to depart Lebanon, and some of them will want to stay, but their plans may change over time. Their interests may change over time. That's the number of people who have registered with us. In terms of the U.S. helping people leave the country for.
Now, in Tehran, a demonstration took place to commemorate the late Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah's assassination. The event was attended by pro-regime crowds who chanted slogans against the United States and Israel. In fact, this demonstration occurred one day after Iran's missile attacks on Israel, which was a response to recent Israeli strikes against Hezbollah in Lebanon, which included the killing of its leaders. Iran's ambassador to the United Nations declared that the country launched missile strikes against Israel as a form of self-defense. Approximately 180 missiles were fired in retaliation for what Iran described as aggressive action by Israel, including the killing of key leaders. The ambassador emphasized these strikes were necessary and proportional responses to ongoing hostilities.
Strikes were a necessary and proportionate response to Israeli continued terrorist aggressive acts over the past 2 months. This includes the violation of Iran's sovereignty, the assassination of political leader of Hamas in Tehran and Iranian citizens, the targeting and wandering Iran's ambassador to Lebanon, and to recent assassination of Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, the leader of the resistance and Secretary General of Hezbollah.
US Vice President Kamala Harris visited an emergency operations center in Augusta, Georgia to meet with officials responding to Hurricane Helene. During her visit, she thanked the emergency workers for their dedication and hard work. Harris is in the state getting an up-close look at the destruction wrought last year as a result of this hurricane. Harris's campaign manager and former state director in a Senate office said that the Vice President used her experience consoling victims as a courtroom prosecutor to connect with people after the tragedies that have struck the region.
You all. You all are doing God's work right now. And I know many of the people in this room, you are members of this community. And as I was saying to a group earlier, I know what that means. You all leave home, you leave family members who are in need of help and support to go and help people who are perfect strangers to you. And you do this work in these moments of crisis around the clock with an intention and with a level of care and love for community that is unmatched.
A bus fire in Thailand's Bangkok suburb resulted in deaths of as many as 23 young students and teachers. The victims were returning from a school field trip. Friends, family and Buddhist monks gathered in a temple in Uthai Thani province to receive the bodies. In fact, many were involved in identifying the severely burnt victims. Funeral services are set to begin today. Parents have expressed concerns over safety measures for school trips, and Thai police is now investigating potential negligence, having filed initial charges against the bus driver. Only 22 out of 39 students and 6 teachers escaped the blaze, with 3 students currently hospitalized. UK Prime Minister visited Brussels to discuss strengthening ties with the European Union. He focused on key topics such as security, migration and trade during meetings with the EU leaders, including Council President Charles Michel and Commission President Ursula von der Leyen. They expressed a commitment to enhancing cooperation following the challenges posed by Brexit. Welcome back. You're watching Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's now take a look at the sports stories that you're tracking in Thursday's edition of Quick Morning. Prime Minister Narendra Modi told star javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra's mother on Wednesday that the churma prepared by her reminded him of his mother and turned him emotional. In a heartfelt letter that was addressed to Saroj Devi, Prime Minister Modi even said that Neeraj Chopra gave him the delicious churma when they met during a banquet hosted in honor of visiting Jamaican Prime Minister on Tuesday. Former West Indies cricketer Chris Gayle recently held a meet with Prime Minister Modi during Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness' official visit to India. Prime Minister of the country arrived in the national capital on Monday for a 4-day diplomatic mission, making him the first Jamaican head of the state to visit India. There has been a reshuffle at the top of the ICC men's test player rankings, with Indian pacer Jasprit Bumrah reclaiming his position as number 1 ranked bowler. Bumrah overtakes teammate Ravichandran Ashwin and claims that the premier position for just the second time on the back of his 6 scalps for the match during India's recent 7 wickets triumph over Bangladesh in Kanpur. The Kho Kho Federation of India, in association with International Kho Kho Federation, is thrilled to announce the first Kho Kho World Cup that will take place next year in India. In fact, this historic event will witness participation of as many as 24 countries and 6 continents, and will feature 16 men's and 16 women's teams who will come together to celebrate the spirit of Kho Kho and foster global unity. A report proliferated the internet, claiming Mohammad Shami has incurred an injury and will further remain out of action for the next 7 to 8 weeks. This assertion, as reported by several publications, emanated through a BCCI official. However, the meandering turned out to be false, as Shami himself repudiated the rumors and termed it as baseless. The Indian pacer took to social media to lay clarity on the subject. Indian tennis ace Sir Ace Sumit Nagpal's campaign in Shanghai Masters ended in first round exit after he suffered a defeat to China's opponent on Wednesday. The 27-year-old has been in news recently due to his dispute with All India Tennis Association regarding his participation in the Davis Cup fixture against Sweden that went down in straight sets, leading to a second straight first round elimination. Jos Buttler will return from a calf injury to lead England's white ball teams on the tour to West Indies later this month. Buttler had missed the limited overs series against Australia, where England levelled the T20 internationals and narrowly lost the ODIs. Phil Salt and Harry Brook had led the T20I and ODI sides respectively in his absence. You're watching Quick Morning. I'm Samiksha Srivastava. Let's now take a look at the entertainment stories that we're tracking in this edition. Congress Minister Konda Sureka claimed that K.T. Rama Rao, working president of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti, the BRS, was responsible for the divorce of actors Naga Chaitanya and Samantha Prabhu. This statement has sparked outrage, with Telugu stars Nagarjuna, Chaitanya and Samantha denouncing it as baseless and ridiculous. In fact, in response, K.T. Rama Rao issued a legal notice to Sureka demanding a public apology for tarnishing his reputation and stating that he would pursue legal action if she fails to comply. Actor Govinda is recovering after accidentally shooting himself in the right leg while packing luggage. He was rushed to the hospital for surgery on Tuesday and has since then been moved from the ICU to a normal ward. His daughter provided a health update assuring the public that he's recovering well and is expected to be discharged soon. The family even thanked the supporters for their prayers and said that Govinda is doing well. The highly anticipated film Joker was released in India on 2nd of October and is set to hit screens worldwide on 4th of October. Following its debut, the film has sparked mixed reactions among audiences, with many taking to social media to share their thoughts. Social media platforms have been abuzz with user reviews. One user remarked on the film's unexpected musical elements, recalling a parody that was created years ago. Another expressed feelings of deja vu, suggesting the film closely resembles previous works, describing it as plagiarism. A third user noted the irony in how audiences often criticize filmmakers for not taking risks, only to debate films like this that push do push boundaries. King Charles and Queen Camilla held a Commonwealth reception at St. James Palace in London on Wednesday evening. The event took place ahead of their trip to Samoa for the Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting. Around 300 guests from Commonwealth countries attended, celebrating the contributions of the Commonwealth diaspora to the UK. Guests were invited to join a traditional song and even dance led by the Honorary Counsel Freddie Tulagi. Dr. Mark Chavez, a San Diego doctor, pleaded guilty to conspiring to distribute the surgical and anesthetic ketamine. This plea was entered in a Los Angeles federal court on Wednesday. In fact, the charge is linked to the fatal overdose of the actor Matthew Perry, who died last year from the anesthesia. Chavez is one of the 3 individuals who had pleaded guilty in the case and agreed to cooperate with the authorities.
Mark entered his plea of guilty, and that's now public record, so you can all access that if you want to, but that's what happened. He accepted responsibility, and then we said sentencing.
Scene Diddy Combs, a prominent hip-hop artist, is facing new allegations of sexual assault. In fact, following his arrest on 17th of September related to previous accusations, attorney Tony Busby has announced that he represents 120 accusers. The forthcoming lawsuits will include allegations spanning 2 decades involving both men and women aged 9 to 38 years at the time of alleged incidents. Busby indicates that his team has gathered extensive evidence against the accused, including photos and videos. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Quick Morning. Stay tuned for all the breaking news updates after this very short break.